The Sandland cartoon is here, and with that comes action figures and video games. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Beelzbub and the special game exclusive edition, as well as do a quick review of the video game. That way you know which figure you should buy and if it's worth getting that Sandland game bundle. All that and more after we play that intro. Sandland is a manga created by the late great Akira Toriyama, RIP, and although not connected to that Dragon Ball timeline in any way, it does give you that Dragon Ball vibe, being that it's from the same author and artist. Set off in a far off future where water is a rare commodity, both humans and fiends struggle to survive, gathering every piece of water that they can. The journey kicks off when Rao, a small town sheriff, goes to get help from the fiends as he believes there's a hidden spring of water somewhere out in the desert that is not controlled by the king, who racks up the price of water in a crazy way. But hey, he gives it a discount. And this is where we meet our main protagonist, who's the son of a character who looks oddly familiar. He's the Fiend Prince Beelzbub, and that's the figure we're looking at today. From the box we get the image of the figure with his arms crossed. We get a sneak peek at everything that's inside. I'm looking at these goggles that look pretty cool. I love accessories. We get some of that desert sand right here at the bottom, which if you watch a cartoon yet or played the video game, get used to sand because it's gonna be your best friend. Side of the box, we get a knee, screaming face, and a very angry shirtless pose. Back of the box, we get more images of the figure. We get a little sneak peek into all the action that we're able to do. Looks like this is a very poseable figure. I can't wait to find out, but first we gotta look at this game edition of the figure. Outside the box, we get a different pose. We get a sneak peek as to what's inside, and a little game exclusive accessory that comes with this edition of it. Side of the box, we get some different images. We get a chest. We get him sternly running to the left, and we get him stern running to the right. Back of the box, we get some more images of the figure, some special posing. I gotta say, since this is a special edition, I really like the colors of this box and just how they made this box stand out from the regular packaging with that extra pink that's in the back and black. Looking forward to getting these things open up, seeing what the articulation is, seeing what the differences are. And if this is your first time watching this channel, there's a special way we get these boxes open up, and that's by saying those two magic words.
Oh, baby.
And we'll start out with the main release of the figure. As you can see here, we get a lot of stuff in there. So much so there's even extra packaging in the back. Which, look, if you collect SH Figuarts and especially the Dragon Ball line, it's rare to get a whole bunch of accessories on here, so I'm excited to see all this stuff. Because basically his outfit's pretty much his goggles and then this cape and shorts and shoes, and then little bracelets. Because it's hot on the desert, you don't want to wear a shirt out there. I don't even know if this dude's really supposed to be pink. I think he's just sunburned. You should see me in the summer. Pink as cotton candy. The first thing that might be an issue, or not too sure, is this cape. It's a hard plastic, and being that I'm having it in my hand, it kind of moves around a lot, which might be an issue for posing, but then once it's on your shelf, it's not a huge deal. We do get a nice little bit of paint going from a light pink to a darker pink up in the hair. Nice head sculpt here. These goggles are attached to the head, so I'm curious to see how we're going to change out these face plates. Like, we'll get to that in a second. We got this tail here with the ball joint that kind of moves around in all the directions. Add some dynamic wind to your poses. These boots have some nice detail, a little bit of paint work and shading on here, which once again, it's SH Figuarts, so whenever they do any paint work or shading, I'm so surprised and I'm so happy. I'm glad they're leaning in the direction of actually putting a little bit more effort into the artwork, especially a figure like this, which if you watch that cartoon, it's a beautiful artwork. If you'd see the manga, it's beautiful artwork. So I'm glad they're adding some detail into this. But his articulation is pretty good. I mean, you get a lot of range in his arms, get a lot of range in his legs. I mean, this thing just fluidly moves around. We got some toe hinges. Not much in the wrist, you just get a little bit of a swivel. These little ball pegs that are right here on the arm isn't my favorite as far as aesthetically looking. Sometimes they do away with the aesthetics for more articulation, which kind of sucks. You don't get much of a split out of them, but you can get a nice little like jumping happy pose if you wanted to do that. So you get to look at all the accessories we get. We get 6 face plates, including this stern face plate, which you've seen already on the figure. We get this face plate, which is pretty awesome. Probably for drinking, because we do get a little water bottle as an accessory. But it's also a cool like surprise face expression, like he's like, oh, you're not subscribed, open please. Oh, you need to subscribe, bro. And then we get this angry face plate when you tell him like, I'm not sure if I want to subscribe yet. He gets a little pissed off. Then we get this face plate where he's angry, yelling at you for not subscribing. Well, why haven't you subscribed? He's like, I gotta get these numbers up, bro, come on. And then we get this smirky face plate, a face he'll make for you guys that are subscribed. He's like, yeah, I knew you were cool. Lastly, we get this semi-cocky, happy talking face right here. If you haven't seen the Sandland cartoon or read the manga, Beelzbub has a lot of personality. He's actually a pretty cool little character. You also get these cross arms for the figure, so you can pose them up nice and cocky there. And then we get 2 extra pieces, which I'm not sure where they go yet. We'll have to figure that out. We get some extra hair here, and he also comes with an extra back, which maybe it's necessary. As we start to take this figure apart and put them together, we'll check that out. Super curious to see what that is. We also get this extra cape, which has a lot of nice wrinkles on it and stuff, and it's for like posing with the wind blowing. And we get the cape rolled up as a scarf for whenever there's any sandstorms or anything blowing in. Nice extra little feature on that. Really dig that. And we get this extra pair of goggles, what I was excited about. They're clear and see-through, which is really awesome. A lot of nice detail on this. I love the gold, love the blue that's on these goggles. And here's something I've seen a lot with like NECA products, but I've never seen with SH Figuarts. It's all the hands are put together in a separate compartment underneath the plastic here, and there's pretty tiny hands, so it's very much needed. Like, I actually like this detail because usually they're just thrown in there and they kind of like rattle around. So all together we get 5 pairs of hands. Of course, the 2 fists that come on the figure. It's 2 martial arts hands that are right here. Once again, all of them got a little bit of paint work for the nails. We get 2 open palm hands, these 2 karate chopping hands, and then we get these 2 hands that are cupped with little pegs in them for this water bottle accessory, which has a little hole right here. It slides right in there so you can have him pose drinking water. I really like that they have a peg for the accessory. Sometimes with other toy companies, you really gotta like squeeze the item in there and it ends up falling out, or like it ends up damaging the paint that's on the hand. As you can see, these goggles are kind of connected and attached, so it makes it very scary. I'm not trying to break my figure, so I'm gonna look at the instructions that came on the box. It does look like they do detach. I'm just not sure. All right, so these goggles got little pegs that are on the back that slip right into these little slots in the back of the head. Then you're able to take the faceplate off. So once you have the goggles off, it's pretty easy to switch out the faceplates. You are left with this little band from the goggles, but no worry, that's why you get this extra hair that's right here. You can slip off this piece of hair with the goggles on there and slip that extra hair on there. That way it looks like a solid hair piece. And you can have them pose without those goggles on there, which I think is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool look. I love the versatility of those extra little pieces. I'm still curious about that extra little back and see what we're gonna use that for. And from first glance, it looks like it's the same piece, but then I looked a little bit further. The back they use for the cape actually has these little slots that are right there because the cape has little slots. So I guess that's used to hold it in place. And if you want to have a shirtless figure, this version of the back does not have those pegs on there. So you do have that option of posing them without the cape, a little bit more angry on here. And it's probably a cool feature for this little extra handkerchief version of the cape to slip on around this guy. Let's see how that works. Probably just slip that on right here. And yeah, that's perfectly what it is. Now we got 2 pairs of goggles. So what is the difference between these two? The ones that came on the figure itself originally just have a straight lace to wrap all the way around, because these goggles actually have a little bit of an angle. Once you get the ears wrapped around those little grooves right there, they fit right into place. And then you just gotta stretch it, put it in there. Yeah, that's an awesome look, which is cool just as the base model of the figure for this first one. Love the accessories, love the versatility of everything. Like, I can really have a lot of fun with these poses. Like, you're probably seeing all the poses right now. And like I mentioned, Sandland is a video game. Here we have the video game cover. If you haven't seen the show or read the manga, then up hijacking this tank from the King's Army. The video game itself, although it's not the greatest game of all time, but this, as far as an RPG adventure, it's a good time. You get a lot of versatility in gameplay. You got races, you got a lot of vehicles that you can use. You're able to have 5 vehicles at one time, easily switch out in between them for the different uses along your journey that you're able to use it for. You have some mech battles, yet you're able to use that tank to do stuff. You're able to do some battles and some punchy fighting with the character itself. There's some sneaking around you do and some stealth mode. And the cool thing about all the vehicles, you are able to upgrade them as you go along. You're discovering different parts of the journey. You're not just in the desert sands. You know anything about the story. Eventually they make it over to the Forest Kingdom, and so you get some beautiful backgrounds, and you have other little villages you interact with. You're collecting things along as you go. I really dig the video game, and I'm a fan of game exclusive figures, which we have right here opened out of the packaging. Now right off the bat, you can see we don't get as many accessories as we got with that other figure, but what we do get kind of outweighs it. We get this Sandland stand for the figure. It's that really cool rock formation that Akira Toriyama was known for using. It's kind of the same background that you get in like Dragon Ball. On the front of it, we get that Sandland logo, but if you turn it around, it's just a rock. So you can probably use this for your Dragon Ball figures and posing with other things, which is kind of a big perk. Now the figure itself is basically the same mold, so we don't have to look over articulation or anything on it. It's more of an aesthetic difference. Paint job on this is more accurate to the video game. So as you can see, the goggles are a little bit different as far as coloring goes. This is a lighter, more teal color, where this is a more darker green. You get that red, clear, see-through look on these goggles, where these are more blue. The purple on the capes are a little bit different. The actual figures themselves, like I said, are the same mold. You just get a different different paint job. Like this game edition has a light pink that goes into the dark pink that really like stands out, the flare on that, the paint job on this. It is a more vibrant figure. You get a brighter blue, brighter yellows, brighter purples. It's just a brighter figure all in general, which is cool. But once again, it's kind of lacking in extras and accessories that I was so impressed by the actual standard release. You only get these two faceplates. You get this screaming one right here, and then you get this smirking face one, which still, once again, great detail on the faceplate. You get these crossed arms that are right here as well, and you get far less hands. You only get 3 pairs of hands. You get those karate chopping hands, you get open palm hands, and then the fists that come on the figure itself. I mean, you don't get any water, which I guess is kind of the point of the game. You're going and collecting water, so why would they give you water if you're collecting it? But that part's kind of a bummer, isn't it? And since the paint job on these things are different, you can't use the hands. I mean, you could, but it's gonna look different. It's gonna stand out that this is a darker pink. I guess he could be wearing gloves. Maybe his hands just got a little bit more sunburned than the rest of them. So besides this thing, this is really the only thing that stands out in this game edition of the figure. Other than that, you're better off just getting the standard. If you're choosing between one or the other, I would say just go with the standard edition. But if you're buying the game anyway and you're a psycho like me and you want this extra little accessory, then get both. I mean, I really don't know. The game is really awesome. Either way, I suggest buy the game and get the first figure because it's all pretty cool. Like if that's all I had, I would be satisfied with that. Like this is cool, but how cool is it? That's really up to you. If you guys want to purchase any of these items, I will leave links down in the description. And just full disclosure, anything you get from Amazon helps me out because I get a little bit of kickback on it. If you're into Dragon Ball and SH Figuarts figures, check out this playlist right here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. See you guys next time.